What's going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to another video on F1 2016, and this one's going to be explaining the brand new menu system in F1 2016 for checking the fuel, your brake temperatures, just basically the racing menu. I think there's an official name, but I can't remember it, but basically it's the menu on the right hand side, what previously was the left and right hand side menus in other Codemasters games, where basically it was tyres and fuel on the left hand side, and then you would click B or circle, and it would open up the kind of a damage or the temperature gauge basically on the right hand side. Now it's all in one menu, which I really do like, and it's a lot more detailed as well, which we'll get into later in the video. So we're going to start off with the first little menu screen on this right hand side. So obviously the standard stuff, fuel mix and front brake bias, that's pretty much self-explanatory. You know, you put it up into rich mix or down to lean mix, and then the front brake bias, you put more brake bias on the front, so it could be more susceptible to locking up, but also you get a more kind of pointy front end, if you will. And then the new one is Differential, which is new to the game in terms of actually being able to change it on the fly. You could change the diffs or like the way the wheels rotated in F1 2015, but now you can have like this one setting for Differential on the menu. So while you race, you know, we've seen people like, you know, Marcus Schumacher back in the day when he was racing in F1, you know, even in 2012, he would constantly be changing the differential in between corners just to suit what he wanted for a particular corner. So basically, if you open up the differential more, it means that the tyres are more susceptible to rotate more at different speeds. So like the outside tyre will rotate faster than the inside tyre to kind of catch up and make up that ground, because obviously if you're turning the corner, the outside tyre has to do more groundwork to catch up. So you can open it up that way, and that'll be easier on traction for you if you open it up. And then we get on to the next menu, which is basically the tyre wear and the kind of general damage of the car. So you can see the tyres, the front wing and the engine. So the front wing will just be the same sort of system as last game, where it was the colour, like the different colour of the front wing, and you can have it like half broken or the whole thing broken. The engine wear as well, if you're really revving the gearbox, it will go yellow. But the great thing with the tyre wear now is there's finally a percentage, which I love, and it's something that is really going to be helpful to, I think, everyone really, seeing the actual percentage of tyre wear, because then you can go and do a stint in practice and you can see, okay, the tyre around this point, this exact percentage feels a little bit crap, so I'm going to pit in the race when my tyre goes to this same percentage. So it's a lot better than just simply going, oh, the colour looks a bit yellowish, orangish. So now it's a lot more crystal clear in terms of, you know, when you want to be pitting, and you know, you can basically match it up to what you did in practice, so it makes practice a lot more effective. Then we move on to the next screen, which again is a lot more detailed now in this year's game, with the temperatures of your tyre and the temperatures of your brake, and they do actually get affected quite a lot, and you can see the difference. Like if I just stop here on track in this practice session, you can see the brake temps are going down, you can see the tyre temps are going down, and then we can heat them up again. And if you do weave around enough, you can heat up the tyres, you can get significant temperature in. Right now you can see the tyres were at about 94, 93, straight away just driving they got up to 98, and then eventually down the line on this gameplay you'll see that the temperature on the left tyre as well, especially obviously because we're doing a lot of right turns here in this last sector, the left tyre will go up to 104-ish centigrade. So you can really heat up the tyres properly. On the formation lap, obviously you'd be weaving around in first gear and you can really get the temps up. And also the brakes as well, you can see right now they're at like 200, you know, going down to like 170. They'll drop down to even like, you know, 50, basically 50 degrees when we're just going along the straights, and then when you really brake hard they can really max out to like 900. So you can actually see it's, you know, actually moving about. And I just like the fact that you can see that live data, you can see how it's going. And you know, maybe when the engineer says you're heating up your brakes too much, you can finally actually see what he actually means instead of just maybe feeling it. Or maybe if you know, you can see the color of your brakes heating up, you can now see the actual number skyrocketing up in the menu system. And then here I was revving the engine out, and I actually blew up my engine because I wanted to try and show you guys the temperature going up. Hopefully you saw that the temperature of my engine went up from about 80 to 95 before my engine blew up then as well. But yeah, I just thought I'd include this clip because it was quite I don't know, funny and kind of cool to see the engine blow up. So if you I don't know why you'd want to rev out the engine that much, but you can blow it up like that. I have seen also in career mode that sometimes you can just get natural engine blowouts like this, by the way. But yeah, you can see the temperature of the engine going up and the wear of the engine going up. So again, a lot more detailed and actually kind of live data right there with you. So the next menu item we have is essentially a lot like the first menu screen on F1 2015. basically just an overview of of your race, essentially, with the pit window, the pit rejoin, the position you're going to come out in, the team think, and also the fuel, obviously, you know, how many laps you have left. So if you know that you have 3 laps left in the race and you have remaining like 2.5, you know you're a little bit screwed, so you need to go down to lean and kind of, you know, upshift earlier and, you know, just save the fuel. So standard stuff, really. It's been there before. And then obviously something new is just a team goal there for you. It used to be basically there would be a little circle with like a number 8, let's say, for position 8 that you need to meet in the top left by your name there, where Perez would be. And now they're just showing it in the menu, so it's a little bit more clearer as to what your team goal is. And I believe that will go in green then. That red box will turn green if you're meeting your objective. And then the next thing, which a lot of people have actually been wondering about, and a few asking me on Twitter about, is the actual commands to Jeff this game. Obviously, we had Jeff, your engineer, in the last game. This year, they've kind of added a few more phrases and just added some that maybe weren't obviously there. Like, there's a few that you'll see later on that maybe weren't there before. But obviously, we have things like the standard stuff like box this lap, the driver ahead or behind me, a general update, teammate update, rival status, which is kind of new because that's quite important because every single race, you'll have you could potentially have different rivals if you beat your previous rival straight away, filling up the bar like I showed in my career mode video. So that's quite important to know, like, what your rival's doing in that sense, because that's a big thing. You want to keep on beating your rival. You've got vehicle condition, which is kind of the same thing, just damage, how everything's going. There's also a full kind of car update as well, which is essentially the same thing, but he'll also, I think, tell you about your tyre temps and everything and how generally the car's, you know, looking from his side of the garage, like all the data and stuff. Position update, weather report. Weather report's a little bit more kind of, I felt a bit more, I would say, specific. I think he tries to give you more information than just there's rain coming in 15 minutes. He'll be like, okay, you know, the track's looking a bit, you know, like okay right now. It's getting a little bit, like, you know, colder, and then the rain might be coming. Generally, from talking to the guys at Codemasters in March, specifically one of the guys over there called Luke, who does a lot of stuff with Jeff, he just said he kind of they've really refined it and made sure that if you ask the information, he's going to give it to you a lot more concisely, but it's going to be the information you actually want. And then in terms of Jeff talking to you naturally, like throughout the race, we also got told that they kind of tweaked that and optimized it, because a lot of the time, I think I can speak for a lot of people that he just spoke too much. Like, even if you put it on critical only, he just spoke that bit too much. Like, it was like, Jeff, would you just shut up in the middle of the corner? Please do. And you'll see coming up on this next screenshot, actually, that there is an option that says just shut up, Jeff. So if you don't want him to talk to you, you can just tell him to shut up. Previously in F1 2015, there was actually a little kind of Easter egg sort of thing. You could say, I think it was leave me alone, I know what I'm doing. And that will actually shut Jeff up. So I think you can still say that, hopefully. But you can also just scroll down and say, shut up, Jeff. But as we move on to the second screen, again, you've got some new things, championship standings, which is quite cool, I think, because, you know, if you, let's say you're going down to the wire, the finale, it's all very tense, and you want to know what the championship standings are as it stands, you know, you can get to know that. So I feel like that's quite important. That's quite cool, just to be like, for the career mode's sake. I don't know how. I don't think that option will be very useful, obviously, online, because you know, if you're doing a league race, you're not exactly gonna have the championship standings, or if you're in a random sprint mode, you're not gonna have, you know, it's not really gonna matter. You do get points in sprint mode if you do like random little quick races, but no one really cares ever about the points. But it's really cool for career mode that you can actually get the championship standings. And then you can also have the settings for the engineer in this menu. So previously you had to pause the menu and go to critical only, or, you know, full or off, and now you can just do it from this menu. So while you race, you can do it. Basically, it's like you don't have to click pause. You can keep on racing, get on what you want to do, but also at the same time shut him up. And also you got everything there. Fewer updates, engineer quiet or talk or anything like that. So you've got everything there. But that's basically the different speeches. As always, like with the last game, you can speak to him or you can just go right on the menu. So if you just, you know, if you've got a controller on the D-pad, you can go down the options and then click right to ask the question. Or if you have, I believe on PS4, it's just a headset. I believe on Xbox, you still have to have the Kinect, because there's some issue with basically Microsoft want you to use the Kinect when you do voice commands on Xbox. So I think you have to have a Kinect, but I may be wrong. They could have updated that. Hopefully they have. Maybe you know, maybe I can ask them on Twitter and see if that's a thing. But basically on the Xbox you use Kinect and PS4 you use the headset, and then on PC you also use a headset, because obviously on Windows 10 at least they have like that new voice system for Cortana, and then, you know, on Windows 7 and 8 they do have some voice recognition software, and that obviously installed with the game. Like when you install this game on PC, you'll notice that it installed some Windows voice programs basically to make sure that the headset does pick you up. And also, they said they've worked on also getting the voice recognition to work a bit better in terms of with different accents and stuff. So hopefully, if you maybe have a bit of an accent while you speak, it will hopefully pick it up if you didn't in F1 2015. Then moving on to the kind of next thing which I wanted to show you, which is just the first menu again, but during the race, because obviously then it gives you the downforce and the next tyre thing. So downforce is pretty much the how it was previously. You could ask for more front wing at the pit stop. Obviously you can't ask for more rear wing because that's locked by part ferme conditions, the real life rule in F1, but you can tweak the front wing. So like we see in real life, they tweak it a few, like, you know, left and right a little bit to either put it more or less downforce on the front wing. So you can go fully from, you know, 6 to 11 there. I think you can go lower than 6 as well. And then the tyres, they've changed it up. You know, previously you had to do the D-pad menu and go kind of like up or down for option in prime, and then left and right for wet. Now it's just one menu that you go left, right, left, right, left, right, which I think is really great because you guys have seen, hopefully you guys, some of you guys remember from older career mode videos like a year ago, I've sometimes really messed up and I put on like wet tyres by accident because I've got the Formula 1 wheel from Thrustmaster and I can just never remember which direction I need to swivel my wheel, my little dial to put up, left and right on the little dashboard. So I like the fact that it's now just left and right, so you can't screw that up. The only way you're going to screw that up is if you haven't scrolled enough. So I think that's an issue that I had that's going to be fixed now. But yeah, that's been the kind of that's going to be this video, kind of explaining that menu. Hopefully that was informative. I know, you know, because no one's, I haven't seen, at least from my knowledge, anyone actually explaining how everything worked there. And I personally haven't explained it in any kind of video, so I thought it might be useful for some of you guys, especially if you're brand new to the Formula 1 games, you don't really know much about it, then this might help you out. So if you did find it informative, then hit that like button, would be really appreciative. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're around here, then do subscribe for weekly Formula 1 content. Let me know in the comments below, guys, if there's anything else you want me to explain like this, if there's like a system or, you know, I don't know, just anything in the game that you guys don't feel like you have enough information on in terms of how it works, and like when you play it, how do you do it, or how does it actually work. So let me know in the comments below if there's anything like that from the game, and I'll try and see what I can do. Obviously it's a preview build, so some things might not be in there or working properly because it is a preview build. It's nowhere near the kind of actual full thing. They're still updating the full game right now as I speak, so it's not the full thing, but there should be quite a few things that I can explain to you guys. But anyway, that's going to be the video. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I've been over. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.